All right. Welcome to Boss and the Brewer, episode number 47. Hendo's going to come online here in a minute. So today we've got just updates on the regular kind of weird shit we talk about. A couple of news items, nothing too crazy. We've got the Colonial Brewing changing their name, which is kind of the big news of the week so far. We record on a Wednesday, so you never know. But that's the big one, I think. A couple of other smaller stories and a few fan questions. So we'll let the boss man in right now and see what he's up to. See if he's turned his light on, which would probably be the first time if I can see him when his camera turns on. Oh, there you go. A little bit dark.
I know. I thought I'd turn it up. Here we go. Oh, one more. There we go. That's better.
What sort of settings does the thing have?
What do you mean?
Well, like it seems to be so many options for your light, like different darkness and lightness and.
Oh no, I'm not adjusting the light. I'm adjusting the exposure on the camera.
Okay, and so what sort of options do you have there?
Exposure.
It's like up and down.
Yeah. And I can change the field of view so I can go right in or I can go right out like that.
Oh, okay. There you go. Look at that.
But you don't really want to see my printer or anything like that, all the muck on my desk. So.
Well, as long as we can see the spatula, we're good.
Oh, there's a zoom thing here as well, so I can go zoom.
What do you actually like? Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Wait, there's the picture of the episode. Hang on. All right, there we go. We've got the photo for the episode. Brilliant.
That was a 495% zoom. Oh, let's go out of it.
What are you physically playing with at the moment? And that came out wrong, but you know what I mean. Are you? Oh my God. Is it like software? I've never used an external camera. I don't like. Is it software or?
No, it's not a. Oh, I've got a Logitech Brewer as my webcam. Because I've got a desktop PC because it does all the power for all the video processing and all that sort of stuff.
I see. Right? And then the Logitech, are you pressing buttons on the thing or are you just
there's an app.
Okay.
The little helper app that you do all the things with it.
Okay. Good. I'm interested.
Mean to zoom into my mouth 455%, but hey, here we are.
Well, you got the option, so you did it.
That's right.
You got a beer? You've got a sponsored shirt on by the looks of it.
Lee gave this to me years and years ago. Years ago. I was actually looking at some old photos from like 5 years ago. It's a bit worn. I might need a new one for next winter.
You mustn't have brewed in it if it's still pitch black.
What's I brewed in it? It's just got fluff all over it.
How have you managed to not get something on there that's going to turn it into something other than black?
What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. There's all kinds of shit chemicals and stuff that brewers get on their black shirts that ruin them after one use.
None of them dye your clothes, though. Unless you got the bloody chlorine bleach out if you're one of those brewers.
Yeah, it just looks like, maybe your cam, it just looks like brand new.
Might be camera.
Might be the camera.
Face looks brand new as well.
Yeah, not so much. Especially not at 500%.
I got a beer. I was Indies. Cutoff today was for dropping off beers for the Indies today.
Oh yes.
And so I dropped in at the brew lab and filled up some kegs of beer, and then went out to Chill Logistics out in beautiful Yatala, and ran into Reese from Four Hearts, and he said, "Oh, I've got some beer for you." And so he gave me a 4-pack, but this is the one that I'm going to drink now.
Very nice.
Which is the Supermodel Australian Pale Ale at 3.5%.
That dude's a legend.
Do you know what I was thinking? Bloody oath he is. You know what I was thinking the other day? And I wrote it on a post-it note here. We need a Queensland style of craft beer.
Okay. What do you got in mind?
If you were going to have a Queensland style of craft beer, look how fucking clean that glass is.
I mean, it seems like we've got one right there, 3.5%, easy drinking.
Well, that's one criteria. Definitely 3.5%. Smells great, by the way. Have to be a lager.
Yeah, it has to be owned by a multinational corporation.
No. I'm talking about an independent.
Okay, all right.
beer. And so 3.5% have to be a lager and something that would uniquely make it Queensland. Well, it doesn't have to, I suppose, but it's just a style of beer that's meant not so good for the warmer months. Anyway,
No.
have you got a beer?
Yeah. Wait, you don't have an idea here, or are you just suggesting we need one? Is that where this is going?
Oh, it'd be nice if there was.
But you don't have a specific pitch.
No.
Okay.
It was just lots of things go in one ear and out the other in Hendo world.
Yeah. And, I thought you were going somewhere with it, like a Grodziskie or.
No, it'd be no. It'd be nice to have. You know what I mean? A very uniquely Queensland style of beer.
Pacific Ale. The thing is, if you can have it's not Queensland, but it's kind of I suppose uniquely to the East Coast. Would you say?
What's that?
Pacific Ale.
Well, yeah, Pacific Ale is, but that's New South Wales, bro.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But it's if you can have New Zealand Pilsner and West Coast IPA and something, it's a style. We're going to invent a style of beer.
Well, that's what we tried to do when we started with Beach House. It didn't work particularly well, but we kind of thought it.
Why is that? Because people didn't like it.
No, people liked it. It won the trophy. It was a beer people liked, but it just wasn't a style of beer anyone drunk.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Pretty tough to get people to drink a new style of beer.
And I don't mean, sorry, that sounded a bit rude. People didn't like it. But I mean, it wasn't something that gelled with the punters and stuff like that. People didn't know what it was. It's not many brands have been able to invent a whole new style of beer. No. Kind of pack ale and not much else. Cold IPA. What's that? Cold IPA. Oh, but that hasn't really taken off, has it? Like what's like a beer that a lot of people drink that's been sort of invented by an indie brewer? Pack ale is almost the only one. Yeah, pretty much. I suppose XPA was a different spin on an existing beer, but Cooper's Pale and Cooper's Sparkling are uniquely Australian style of beer. Yeah, but how long ago since they invented that? Long fucking time. Yeah. Not easy. Not easy. What do you got to drink? I thought I'd have this one because it is technically a sponsored beer because it came. Oh, sweet! Brewdog gave me those beers. You want to tell people who are audio only what it is? Yeah, it says made lovingly by Brewdog Brewing Australia. Born on the banks of the Brisbane River, 4% brown snake ginger beer. Yeah, sick. Is that just a Brisbane beer? They make it out of Brisbane, yeah. No, but the brown snake brand. I don't know anything about ginger beer. That's like a colloquial name for the Brisbane River. Yes. No, I knew that, but is this beer right here in my hand, the brown snake ginger beer? Mm-hmm. Is this a beer that they had before they had a brewery in Brisbane, or is this just one they brew for Brisbane? That's for Brisbane by Brisbane. Interesting. Okay, there you go. Unfortunately, it's about 5 months old because they gave us these sponsored beers like 5 months ago and I haven't drunk it because I don't drink ginger beer, but I'm about to. Oh, man, ginger beer is awesome. One of the fastest growing categories, apparently. Thinking of doing one? Especially because we do the cider. Oh, yeah. Ginger cider. But, yeah, apparently in Queensland and WA, just exploding. It's sick. I love what's that one that's the really spicy one? Old Jamaica or something like that? Got the name of it. When I attempted home brewing as a kid, extremely unsuccessfully, I used to make ginger beer. And it was disgusting. This is delicious. Super gingery. Old Jamaica. It's that really that alcoholic ginger beer that you get that comes in the... What is that one? I really, really like. Like the real old one that you used to drink back in the day? Yeah. Here we go. Royal Jamaican. Okay, there you go. That's spicy as. It's really good. This is delicious. Why don't I drink ginger beer? I should drink this all the time. Because it's excellent. Like soft drink. Ginger beer, yeah, that's it. And it gets you best. Okay. Well,
Let's go look at the standos here. They don't even put the standos on here. That's God.
That's illegal.
You guys got to get your head around the rules here. There's so many rules being broken like this. There's a uppercase M. There's no standos.
Come on.
I mean, it's written there.
Standos.
It's written there, but there's no stando icon. See that?
No stando logo.
No, it's no standgo. Right. 1.2 standos. So there you go.
This is very good, by the way.
Good.
Nice and fresh.
We're not going live tonight, so we're just trying to do a tight podcast.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a distraction, and I just wanted to try it to see what the numbers look like. And then if it works well with the podcast weekly, not live, we can think up a specific thing to do live in kind of like a short burst, maybe.
Yeah. Or a special event.
Special event.
Mazanon or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So apologies if you like us going live, but there you go. That's the idea. We've still got our competition going for Behemoth too, so I wanted to mention that before we started. But nothing's changed on that. I got an email saying there, I'm sort of going to be notified if anything happens. And
because you signed up for the thingo.
I signed up, and their opted in thing says 1,036 people have opted in.
Wow.
So I think it's like 350 when we looked at it. So I don't know. That I suppose potentially could be good, but I don't really look at that side or know what is good and what's not good. But maybe next week, if they launch, we'll know whether or not I get the first success at our over and under competition.
Are you going to give it a bit of a...
What is it? What's that?
Put your money down. Put some schmackaroos down.
No, well, so the deal is we're going to do this over and under thing. Fuck, I didn't think of one for this week. Damn it. We could though. We're going to do the over and under thing 10 times, and whoever wins at the end buys the other person a Dixon Flano. But we're going to have to think of 10 of these things.
Yep.
So I haven't thought of one for today.
Pretty sure between now and the end of the year, there's going to be 10 more fucking crowdfunding.
Well, it could be crowdfunding. It could be anything. It just could be predictions for indies. Could be. That could be
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
we can do that. We can do that next week because we can put that to the 12 as well.
Okay. All right. Well, over under prediction for indies.
Predictions for the indies around trophy winners.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And if we think of one during this show, we'll do it now as well. Right. Scooter and Danchin update before we get into the topics.
Make a bit of a comment about the Danchin?
Yeah.
That's not how you spell Danchin. Danshun.
Okay, wait, let me try again.
Not Danskin.
Is that better?
Danchin. Yeah, that's it. Dansion. Danchin.
Yeah, I don't know why I called it Danchin. But also, I didn't think you looked at these show notes, so it was more just,
Of course I look at the show notes. How do I know what we're talking about next?
I just ask you and you answer. Oh, you've actually added to it. You've added to it.
Yeah, of course.
All right, how's the scooter going?
Okay, so here's what happened with the scooter this week. You know how I've got the engine from the Honda Lead?
Yep.
And then I've got the Honda Today, right? And I was going to put the Honda Lead engine in the frame for the Honda Today, and I decided against doing that. So because I don't know how to do wiring and stuff, but I know how to do engines and stuff. So the plan was to pull the head and the cylinder off the Lead and throw it onto the Today crankcase.
If it lined up, yeah.
And so I pulled both of them off and went to put the head on, and it didn't fit inside the crankcase. So the Lead engine has to go now. Okay. So basically, I put it all back together. One thing I did notice is that the guy that I bought it off put the big bore kit on, 125cc big bore kit on it. Hasn't been started. He's pristine, brand new. So
you're trying to sell this thing already, aren't you?
Absolutely. If anyone wants to buy a Honda Lead engine with 125cc big bore kit, hasn't even been started, hit me up. Right. I'm all ears. Anyway, so that was really interesting pulling an engine apart because I never really pulled an engine apart before like that, let alone two at the same time.
How small are these engines? Like, are they kind of like this or?
Well, the engine is actually the piston up and down bit.
There's just
kind
one
of tilted
cylinder.
forward. Single cylinder.
Yeah.
And then it's also the CVT transmission
Mm.
and the rear axle. It's all considered to be the engine.
Oh, okay. So there's no
Right.
sort of kind of gearbox.
No, it's a constant velocity transmission.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that's a whole topic for another time. And so, but they're all based on a platform called the GY6 platform, which was invented by Honda, but the Chinese just go and make clone stuff around it. And so basically, so I have to, there's nothing I can do with that Honda lead engine. So I'll put it on Camtree or something like that. And or back on Facebook Marketplace or
Marketplace,
something.
it'll fly.
And I've never sold anything on Marketplace before.
Oh, really?
It's going to be an interesting experience. Anyway, so
you're going to get like 50 messages saying, "Is it still available?" I feel like.
Yeah, that's all right. Just buy the thing. I'll get my money back. It'll be fine. And so so I've got on my other screen here behind me, I found a big bore kit for the 50cc, really, really cheap. And it comes with like the big bore kit, lumpy cam.
Right.
You need a lumpy cam.
You do. Yeah.
It's for the torque.
Yeah, and can you hear that? It help the noise of the thing? Or?
Yeah, well, it comes with an exhaust.
Okay.
And a big coil, so you get a big spark, so you get a big bang.
Okay.
And all the bits that I need, and it was really, really cheap. So I just bought a bunch of stuff off. No, this is off Alibaba, AliExpress.
AliExpress, wow.
So it comes out of China, and I just bought some stuff for the today off AliExpress. It only took 3 weeks for it to arrive, so it's a little bit slow. It's got to come from China. The prices of the stuff is cheap, but the freight's pretty expensive. This is pretty good, and so I think I'm going to buy that.
How does the big bore kit, like, how does my understanding of boring out a cylinder is you're physically boring out the cylinder?
That's right. Yes.
So how does the big bore kit do that?
Well, you take your old cylinder,
yeah,
right, and you chuck it out, and you get a new one, and it just slots in over those 4 big long bolts.
Oh, so it's not like a block. It's like a block?
That's the crankcase. That's the bottom of the cylinder.
Okay.
Yeah, that's called the crankcase in a little engine like that.
Interesting. So there's not like because like a car engine, you have a block and the cylinders are like in the block, right?
No, that's right. But with these engines, the cylinders,
it's actually just a cylinder.
Come off the crankcase.
Oh, wow. And you can just swap them out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And just change the head out really easy. It took 20 minutes to pull this engine apart. It wasn't that hard at all, though.
That's cool.
Putting it out together a little bit different. I should have taken photos. I was putting the bloody thing apart. But anyway.
So does it have like a computer or just a carby or something?
No. It's got a little CDI box, carburetor.
Yeah.
So no fuel injection. But it's got a carburetor and
spark plug and
away she goes. Coil and away it goes.
Nice.
Really, really simple.
Yeah.
Really simple.
So what kind of horsepower are you going to be working with once you get that thing up and boogie?
3.5.
3.5 horse.
Or as they call it in Germany, Freude Stroker.
Okay.
That's what they call it in Germany.
That's great. So you think this thing is going to be what, 0 to 100 in what, like 15 seconds?
115 seconds.
0 to really? No. What's like no?
Oh, there we go. Freude Starker. Yeah. What was the question? That's too busy.
I want to know the
myself.
0 to 100.
It won't do 100.
What happened to 0 to 60? Because it's not going to go 100, is it?
Yeah, 0 to 60, probably about 30 seconds.
Really? Actually 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you need a big bore kit.
That's as big as you can get.
Wow.
50 mil cylinder piston size, biggest you can get.
Wow. Okay.
So that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, once the big bore kit is in, I'll put the scooter back together. I'll get it roadworthy and all that sort of stuff. Get it back on the road, and then what you do is you tune the transmission. So basically, you can change the weight. So at the front driven pulley, you've got it's a belted pulley in there, right? The front is the driving pulley, and that's got a thing called a variator, which sort of goes apart and comes together as the speed goes up and that sort of thing.
Nice.
And then the rear is the driven pulley, and that's got a big contra spring in it. And so the faster that goes, the more the belt goes in. So if you think about a 10-speed bike, right?
Yeah.
You've got the cogs on the pedal, and the bigger the cog on the pedal, the faster you go. But you need to put more effort in.
Yeah.
And then with the back of the on the back wheel, all right, that's your driven pulley, basically. The bigger it is, the slower you go, but the more torque you get, and the smaller it is. So basically, what it does is like it starts with small on the front and big on the back, so maximum torque, and then it sort of swaps as you go faster.
What are these things made out of? How does it change size?
Well, on the driving pulley, it's got a variator. So basically, it's this cone-shaped thing with some roller weights in it, and so the centrifugal force makes the rollers go out, which moves the thing in and out.
Yeah,
and then on the back, there's a big contra spring, really really stiff spring, about yay long, about yay wide, and that sort of thing. And the more that gets yanked on, the further it pulls apart.
Oh, I see.
Therefore, the belt goes down, becomes smaller at the back.
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
Fascinating.
It's a cool idea. And
it's all manual. Hey,
it's all manual. There's no technology. There's no computer or anything doing anything.
All mechanical.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you get?
But CVT transmission on car works the same way.
Yeah. Do you get it on bikes, like on push bikes?
I don't know if that would work, mate. Because the whole idea of a CVT, right, constant velocity, which means that the engine is always running at a constant velocity.
So it's the same revs all the time.
So the revs is always the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the torque that changes, and that's what changes the gear that you're in, and that sort of thing.
Well, at least if you're having a drag race, you're not going to lose time changing gears when you're racing some guy. You know what I mean?
It's the ultimate quick shift, mate.
Yeah, it's good.
And also the sheer number of gears that I've got, it's infinite,
unlimited,
infinite.
Speaking of gears, we've been asked, and this I was going to bring this up because it's one of only a very few questions we've got this week, but we've had a request for an F1 update because we talked about having an F1 segment and we just stopped.
No, but your prediction on Mazepin coming back into the F1 was bullshit.
It was bullshit. Yeah, I tend to see things on Twitter and I don't really pay attention to whether or not they're true.
Yeah, Twitter's a bit of a dumpster fire, mate.
It is. It's a shit show.
I just can't believe it's still running.
So what is still happening then with the seat? Ricciardo's not coming back next year.
Well, they went to the CRB, the Contract Recognition Board, about Piastri's contract between Alpine and McLaren, and they ruled that Alpine didn't have a contract.
Yeah.
And they let it expire. So McLaren picked him up. Yeah. And, some of the stuff that Mark Webber, who's Piastri's manager, had said, he said, we said to you several times, you've made a promise, put it on paper, we'll sign it. And then for like 8 months, they didn't put anything on paper. And in the end, they just went, fuck it, we're going. So
isn't that unbelievable?
It's a massive balls up from Alpine.
Crazy. I think what they were trying to do, I heard it on a podcast that what they were trying to do is send him off to keep him on the books, wait till the last minute, send him off to Williams next year. Because, and keep, I guess, Fernando or who's the other guy? But Alonso had Alonso stepped down before Piastri fiasco?
That was the reason why the Piastri fiasco started.
So, anyway, I think they were going to try and keep him for another year, send him off to Williams for a year, and then get him back. But they've already had him on the sidelines for a year, and I think he's just going, fuck that. Like, I'm potentially one of the best drivers in the world. I'll be driving an F1 car next year. If it's not this one, I'll drive another one.
Yeah, that's right.
And Mark Webber's obviously gone to McLaren. Hey, want a piece of this guy? He's won everything.
Well, the thing is, right, is that if Alonso didn't pull the pin on Alpine to go to Aston Martin, right, then none of this would have happened, right? But Piastri probably would have bailed anyways, because if Alonso had decided to stay, then that would have been Piastri as the reserve driver for Alpine for another year or 2 years. That's
yeah, but
a long time to wait for a
wouldn't.
seat.
Yeah, he wouldn't want to do that though, right?
No, that's right. So he was probably out the door anyway, to be fair.
Yeah, well, yeah, or he would have gone to Williams for a year, which he definitely wouldn't want to do because he's potentially one of the.
Alpine don't send anyone to Williams. It's only Mercedes drivers.
Well,
That
I
go
don't
to
know. I
Williams.
don't know. That was the discussion. I don't know. Sometimes they make deals. You
They
know,
do
like
deals.
sometimes the teams like swap drivers because it suits both teams.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but
But
it's
either way,
interesting.
so either way, they're short of a driver for next year,
Yeah,
and Ricciardo's short of a drive, but there's still no talk of him going there. So
no, and that's going to be the interesting one because what's he going to do? What's Ricciardo going to do?
well, did you
Is
see
he
the
gonna-
bit during the week during the Dutch Grand Prix? He was caught on film on camera saying he's having next year off and he'll be back in 24.
Good on him.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not young. He's not young enough to be having a year off. I suppose he is. Alonso had like 5 years off and came back, and he was like 90, and he's still awesome.
92.
Yeah, it's a bummer though. Well, maybe that's what we can do. Who's going to be the? We got to keep gambling. We got to get to 10.
Well, who's going to get the Alpine seat? That's the I think
Yeah.
that's the next bet.
Yeah,
Who's going to get the Alpine seat? And my money is still on Ricciardo getting
really. All right. What about this Herta guy? This Colton
Who?
Herta. Does he come from some IndyCar?
Oh yeah. He might go to Haas.
Or Gasly's the other one too.
Gasly might get it. Yes,
Alpha Tauri.
but he doesn't
yeah.
like that. Him and Ocon don't like each other though.
This is too confusing. I don't want to do that. I don't know enough about these drivers. I reckon we should just do Ricciardo driving in F1 next year, yes or no. And if we think differently, that could be one of the bets. You
I would
think
say
yes? Okay,
Yes.
I think no. Okay, that's the bet. Writing this shit down
Rightio.
and watch me spell it right.
Well done.
And that bugs me because he's awesome. But anyway, there it is.
Hmm.
Let's get to the
That was
news,
the
mate.
there was the no Danshan.
Oh, Danshan. Yeah, no, Danshan. Well, Danshan's looking pretty good. I walked through there yesterday. The front is looking pretty good. The driveway's done. Stove's in, but the oven isn't. The stairs are done. The carpet's done. The floors are done.
Yeah, right.
Getting pretty close. But I'm moving out of this house that I'm in now in 4 weeks' time.
I think you'd be right, mate.
It's going to be close. It's going to be
Yeah.
tight. Yeah.
Might be a couple of nights in the office, but
Maybe. Yeah, well, it's all, I don't own a lot of stuff, but it's still a fair bit of shit. So that's going to be a bit nerve-wracking. But yeah, it's looking good. So far, no major issues with Metricon. Looking good.
even if they went bust tomorrow, I think you could probably finish that off.
Yeah, my house is basically done, and you kind of don't pay the final invoice till the end, so I'm not worried about that. I'll be more worried about them going bust for everyone else it would impact. But it's nice because every stage you look at it and like this isn't a house I've designed from scratch. It's a house you pick out of a catalog and then you change every aspect of it in the hope that it'll kind of look and feel nice. So it's nice to see it coming together and it looks cool, I think. I think it's going to look good.
Yeah.
So
Good.
yeah,
Look forward to it, mate.
exciting. And it's got a fucking huge study. So I'm going to get this kind of setup you got here going.
Absolutely.
The study is gigantic. I don't actually really even know how I'm going to make it look good because it's a very big room. But maybe you can give me a hand.
This room's tiny. You just got to make it look big.
Well, no, but tiny is good because you can just have the whole thing in the shelf and that looks like a good picture. Like I'm just going to have a tiny desk in this huge space. It's going to be strange.
Fair enough.
But yeah. At least I'll have room to do my podcast instead of the kitchen table.
Excellent. Call it the podcast room.
Yeah, it's a podcast room. All right, news. Colonial Brewing Co. rebrands to
CBCo.
That's what it is it? CBCo.
That's how they pronounce it.
Okay.
They had a video. I watched the video on Instagram or something today.
Okay.
And there was what's his name? Was Lawrence Dowd, who got on there and said and was saying, "Oh, we're going to call ourselves CBCo." Good on him. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's been around, like the old Colonial Brewing Co. was around like shit when I was living in Perth, in 2004, I think it was, when they opened down at Margaret River. And they had the brew pub down at Margaret River. And I remember some of the beers. They had like Dr. Quick's Pale Ale and all these quirky name beers. A very, very different company now. 17, 18 years later or something like that. And it's great. I think it's good. Call yourself CBCo. Beers still the same. Beers are good. I was there the other week. Had a ball.
At the original one?
No. Port Melbourne.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For the David Cryer event.
That's right. Yeah.
And the beers were great. Really enjoyed the porter. I don't drink a lot of. I never got to try the tropical lager. It's on that picture there. Did I?
I like the look of that tropical lager can. That green's sexy. By the way, I'm having to pour this again because I don't think this glass is quite as big as a schooner.
We go on there again.
No, we're not. Go on.
Do you know what I taught someone the other day? Or someone I showed someone something the other day, and they just went, "Oh my god, I can't believe you can do that." You know
was
how
it
you've
me?
got like?
Was it you pouring the tin out of the? That was that episode last
Sideways.
Week.
Was that Sideways?
That was me, Hendo.
Was that you?
Yes.
Sorry. I'm so absent-minded.
I still didn't do it.
I thought you just did it.
No, I didn't. I'll do it right now. Oh, it's too late now because it's basically empty. That's amazing.
And your schooner glass is full.
And my schooner glass is full. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This one's an interesting one. I just kind of feel bad in a way because, like, could you just imagine being in that position where you started a brand, it's called something, and then people don't want to buy it because of what it's been called for the longest time. And you kind of feel like you have to change the name, but what the fuck do you change it to? You know what I mean? Like, Colonial is an easy word to say. It's a name that everyone knows.
Yeah, but they were doing this. This transition has been going on for 2 years. And pretty much all the beers have already been transitioned to the new logo before they even announced it.
Yeah, that's not
it's just not an easy thing to do.
No.
But I think the way that they've done it, right, is they acknowledged the issue. They said, we're going to change, but we've got to put it to our stakeholders and consumers and our customers and all that sort of stuff. They actually went and made the change, right? And have all but they actually completed it a long time ago. Then they announced it.
Yeah.
Well, it's good.
Remember when Weight Watchers rebranded to WW?
WWE?
No, just WW because, I don't know, because Weight Watchers was...
Remember when the WWE was WWF?
Isn't there two different ones?
WWF is the World Wildlife Foundation, so they've got the logo with the panda.
Brilliant.
And it's about protecting like wildlife. But then there's the World Wrestling Federation. And then they got into a legal dispute with the World Wildlife Fund. And so they had to change to World Wrestling and Entertainment.
Nice. I got to get into wrestling, eh? I'm pretty keen to get into it.
I used to watch it a lot. Have you been to see it live?
No, but you went to the Moondog one, didn't you?
Fun. I've done the Moondog one twice, but I've actually seen WWE live once in Perth and twice in London. And fuck, it's funny.
I reckon
so
it would
funny.
be.
It's like, if you're in Melbourne for Good Beer Week next year, I'll buy a ticket to the wrestling at Moondog. It's hilarious. You will laugh so much.
I'm keen. It looks cool. It looks fun.
So funny.
I'm down.
Just drink beers like they're not even touching the side. It's so good.
So this is the thing. So with the CBCo thing, right?
Yeah.
And I looked on the Weight Watchers website to see what they had because they have. If you go to Weight Watchers now, it's called WW. It was called WW for a while because they didn't want to focus on weight or whatever.
Mhm.
And then it's WW Weight Watchers. Now when you go there, it's just WW Weight Watchers, which is kind of confusing. But I suspect it has a lot to do with the fact that having like an acronym or like an initialism it's really fucking hard to pull that off. Like it's really hard to have a brand name that is an acronym that isn't actually a word, because brands and products, things that people attach themselves to they kind of need to fit into a sentence. They need to be like, they need to be something that people can say to another person and remember easily. And when it's an acronym that isn't a word, it's really quite hard to do that.
Yeah.
I think. So I think
CBCo is fine though.
Yeah, I think it'll be hard. I think it'll be hard for people to attach themselves to that as much as an easy sounding word. Do you not think?
Yes. Well, yes. Do you know what I find really weird though? So I'm looking at the can of CBCo Tropical Lager, and then on the little lip part up the ridge part up the top, the angled bit, it says CBCo Brewing.
Yeah.
So then that raises the question, what does the CB stand for?
Well, that's
because if it was Colonial Brewing Company, then it might be Colonial Brewing Company Brewing.
Like ATM machine. It's tautological.
Automatic teller machine.
Yes.
So what does CB stand for?
That's
asking the real questions.
Oh, so you think it might actually not stand for that, and they've thought of something else for it to stand for?
Yeah.
What do you think you will say to someone like? I could be way off, but if you go into a bar and ask for that beer, a pale ale or an IPA, like what will you ask for? Will you ask for a Colonial IPA? Do you think?
Oh, what would I ask for?
Yeah, if you saw it on tap.
Oh, I'd say CBCo from here on in.
Yeah, but if you didn't know about any of this and you just saw it, and you looked at it, what would you say?
CBCo, because there's nothing there that says Colonial. The only people who know Colonial, those who know already established with and know the brand.
I honestly looked at that 5 times before I said CBCo, because I was looking at CBC, CBCo.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't obvious to me that word.
You don't like change?
No, like I explained to you, I don't find change a problem, but when it's not actually a word, it's really hard to remember and really hard to put into a sentence.
Well, I guess some thought's gone into it, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. We should gamble over under. No, we can't.
It's
really
like
do that.
when like Kaiju had to change their name.
It's not like that though, because Kaiju is a word and it's easy to remember.
But they weren't always called Kaiju though.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is it's not the changing of the name that's a problem. It's
it's
building
like
a
it's
brand
an acronym that doesn't mean an acronym.
That's not like an acronym is like a word afterwards, like like NATO or NASA or something.
Yes.
That's easy to remember because it's a word.
Yes.
But like an initialism, like ABC or CBCo is not a word. So you can't really easily say it.
I think you'll get used to it.
You think so?
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, like IBM is an example, but there's not many. I guess my point is there's not many. It's a hard thing to attach yourself to.
Yeah.
All right.
Like Aldi.
No, but Aldi's a word. See, that's like a proper acronym.
Is it an acronym or is it a portmanteau?
If it forms like a proper word, it's a proper acronym, and it's a word. Like Aldi's a word.
What do the letters ALDI stand for then?
It doesn't matter what they stand for. It matters how they sound.
Ah.
Because if it was, ALDQ,
what about Adidas? Say it as a word. Adidas is a portmanteau as well.
But Adidas is also an acronym and not an initialism, because Adidas is a word on its own. CBCo will never be a word on its own.
No, needs another vowel.
So it makes it, I think, a lot more challenging as a brand.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not saying it won't work. I'm just saying I think it makes it hard.
Yeah.
I like to look at the can though, and the website looks cool. I'm just on the website now, but
I need to have a look at the website.
It said, if you go to Google, it says Colonial Brewing, but then when you click on it, they've got a new domain, CBCo.beer. Website's pretty sexy.
Oh, well, that's weird. I went to cbco.com.au and guess where I got taken? Colonial Building Company.
Brilliant. Okay. Well,
shit, you not.
You know what my first thought when I saw this name change was like, does that mean they're going to change like that colonial style of building because that's like a thing as well?
Yeah. What's their bloody website then?
You don't need to know the website. You just need to know Google. Just go to Google and put in Colonial Brewing and the rest will look after itself. But it's cbco.beer.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know they're bringing out .au domain names where you don't even need the .com?
Sick.
Could just be cbco.au.
CBCo.beer. There you go.
CBCo.beer. Yep. CBCo Brewing.
Their sours are really good.
Yeah. It is CBCo Brewing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
CBCo Brewing.
Yeah. Small ale's good as well. The porter, robust porter. Chef's kiss.
We should get some CBCo sponsorship.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. News item number 2.
What do you got?
So this one I saw twice. I saw when the IBA sent out their communication with some words in it, and then Brews News put something up yesterday. But it's on topic of what we talked about before. So the IBA launched a brewer immigration drive. Basically, it's on the topic of brewing is not on one of the skills that the federal government will allow people in on a skilled workers visa. And
That's
the
right.
IBA are trying to add it to the list because we've got a skills shortage and there's a lot of people around the world that know how to brew. So that's good.
To a point. And usually what happens with each of these vocations, when they put it on the skilled migration list, there's either a point system or a certain number of people per year that they let in under that particular trade and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we certainly need to get some skilled migrants in to backfill the demand that we've got for brewers, particularly senior brewers and that sort of thing. But as long as that doesn't go over the top and stop brewers from progressing their career, or we certainly need wages growth in this country, but not put too much downward pressure, on wages and that sort of thing. I think in the mix, we certainly need the diversity. Nothing wrong with it, but I think in balance with training and upskilling of the existing workforce and that sort of thing. It's good.
Yeah, but is this actually happening though? Because it kind of just says.
Well, so you know how this all came about? Why it's in the news this week is because they had the jobs conference thing in Canberra.
Yeah, and they made some announcements about 25,000 new workers or something, right? Coming in.
Yeah, something like that. And so I think it sounds to me like obviously a bit of a schmooze fest.
Yeah.
And they get there and go and bloody, everyone puts their case and maybe the IBA were there.
Yeah, well, it says we're not the only ones. We're in quite a long line of industry shortages across various sectors, particularly hospitality. It's not really news until it's successful, though, right?
We'll see. It's going to take them bloody ages.
They're at the conference, but it's news when it is actually on the list. What do you got there, mate? You're quite excited about something.
I am excited. I was at Toowong Village the other day and going down the Travelator, and they just opened a new vintage cellars in there, or they refurbished the vintage cellars that was in there.
Oh yeah, the one right at the bottom of the.
Yeah, they're right at the bottom.
That's
yeah,
still there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Bloody oath. They just they shut it for like 3 months now. It's reopened. And
It's been there
refurbished.
forever.
It's exactly the fucking same. Anyway, I'm going down. I could see across over the top of the vintage cellars there through the door of the fridge, and I could see through the glass door, actually in the cold room, a whole bunch of German beers, a whole bunch of Weinstefana beers and all that sort of stuff.
Nice.
It's going to be so cheap. Anyways, I go in there and they had this amazing range of German beers. So I pulled out today. I've got the Hofbrau Hefeweiss beer.
Photo taken.
So I think I need to, now I'm no Cicerone. I think I need to roll this bottle.
Oh no, okay.
Do I?
I don't know.
I gotta get the yeast up. So there you go. Just give it a bit of a roll. All right. Now I need a bottle opener. Oh, it's one in my pocket.
I might get a beer as well while you're doing that. You keep entertaining our audio stream.
I've got my my Black Hops bloody bottle opener here. Now hopefully I don't gush this bloody beer. Beautiful. And naturally, I'm no Cicerone, so I've got no idea how to pour a beer. Mind you, I do have my certified beer server. Never used it, though. Oh, that smells lovely. That smells absolutely lovely. Look at that. Look at that. That looks great, doesn't it?
That looks good.
It smells amazing.
These kind of beers are good too, aren't they? Because there's kind of no chance it's not going to matter if it's a week old or a year old. It's just going to be solid.
Oh, it's so good. Wheat beers are so, oh man, that's so much banana coming out the wazoo there.
Maybe we need to get on the wheat train for the kind of Aussie wheat ale thing they're doing for Queensland. 3.5% wheat.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, Great Northern practically tastes like a wheat beer. There's so much banana in it.
Yeah.
We could turn it up to 11.
What about we just do like lots of corn, and we could just name it after that corn song. Just call it It's Corn. You know the corn song?
What's the corn song?
You're not all over that?
You mean Corn the band?
No, I don't mean Corn the band. I mean the viral kid talking about corn. And I made it into a song.
Really?
I spend too much time on TikTok, don't I?
All
right. Well, after this episode, how do I bring it up? If I bring it up only, I'd be able to see it, right? If I bring it up, will the audio come through on the thing? It won't.
If you share your screen and then click the button that says share your audio.
That's too fucking hard.
And
then I'll probably get in trouble from YouTube from stealing. Okay. But will you hear it?
Yeah, if you click the bloody tick box that says play audio, you can always edit that shit out for YouTube.
It's currently.
Come on, just show us.
All right. Share screen. All right. Oh, I don't even know what I'm sharing here. Google Chrome unknown. I mean, this could be anything. Allow Zoom, open preferences. Come on, dude.
Security.
Too hard. Simply too hard.
Fair enough then.
Wait. Here we go. Quit and reopen. No, I can't quit and reopen. What are you talking about? No, I can't quit and reopen. That can't happen. Anyway, I'll put it in the show notes. That's what I'll do here. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll just take this out.
Why don't you send me the link and I'll have a look at it.
Oh, shit. Now I can't hear anything. Can you hear anything? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. No, I can't hear you, YouTube.
Fuck.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right.
And he says I'm bad.
Can you hear the YouTube thing?
No.
Damn it.
Why don't you send me the link?
I will. Let me make sure this is the right one, though.
Fuck's sake.
I fucking hope this is the right video.
Are you listening to it?
Yeah.
Because I can't hear anything and it's not funny. All right.
Wait,
Do you
so
want
you
me
can
to
share
share?
your screen? Yeah, 100%. Do it.
Okay, you need to give me permission to share my screen.
Fuck's sake. All right.
You need to click me, the host. You need to click me over in participants.
I gotcha. And then it's got more.
And then you go allow, or you do the security thing and say allow participants to share screen.
Yeah, I think I need to do that. Security. Share screen. Yeah. Okay. Send it. Now you're going to get like 5 minutes of ads.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I got to do the.
Here we go. Yeah.
I got to do the share sound.
And then we're going to get kicked off YouTube.
Is that the right one?
And copy someone else's.
Did I share the right screen? I don't even know.
I got AliExpress. I did. There was Corn there for a bit, and then there was AliExpress. Now there's you.
Okay. How's that? There we go.
Brilliant. That's it.
Are you ready?
Do it.
That was my scooter parts, by the way.
Yeah.
You hear it?
Yep.
For me, I really like corn.
What do you like about corn?
It's corn.
Go!
A big lumpy knobs. It has the juice.
It has the juice.
And a more beautiful thing. It's corn. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, I don't anything change. But the best thing about corn is the grease. The corn break can restore your energy. You really appreciate the whole world when you love something. If you anyone loves corn, if you come to me, I can tell you all about it. If I was surrounded by corn, I would eat all of it. You're big and strong. Look at this, take a lump with the knob. Spread butter on. For your 10 toasted with the grease. That all spreads out the good taste. I just saw corn is disgusting. Anything change. It's corn.
So this was just like an interview.
It has the juice.
It has the juice.
I can imagine a more beautiful thing. It's corn. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, I don't anything change. I hope you have a fantastic day.
Fantastic day.
Alright, it's just a part of a corn, okay? It's corn. When it's like negative in the world. Take the corn break.
Corn break.
Take the corn break.
Corn dance.
Okay, this is a longer version of the one I've seen.
Corn dance.
Oh, the corn dance.
You need to get this dude to sell your scooter big ball kit.
Anything else you want to say about corn before we go?
Yeah.
What?
It's corn. A big lumpy knobs. It has the juice. I can imagine a more beautiful thing. It's corn. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, I don't anything change. It's corn. A big lumpy knobs. It has the juice. I can imagine a more beautiful thing. It's corn. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I tried it, I don't anything change. It's corn.
Smoke yo ho.
So like that was just like an interview with
Oh
just some
my
kid and he's
God.
saying all this shit.
Oh my God. That was hilarious.
So that's what we've got to
Um,
do. A beer called It's Corn.
You want to know what's funny? Like I had dinner just before. Guess what I had?
Corn.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. It
I
was
know.
corn-tastic.
It's really good. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing.
Corn on the barbecue is sick.
It's fucking delicious. It's
Yeah.
really good.
I make this thing where I get butter and some salt and some chili flakes, and then I get the silicone brush and I brush it while I'm cooking it
Nice.
on the Weber. It's bloody amazing.
Well, next time you do it, try and do it without saying it's corn.
It's cold.
It's gonna be hard. All right. Oh fuck! Where were we up to? Okay.
Copyright struck. Who cares?
So this one, I have no idea anything about this, but I heard on Brews News that Chuck Hahn retires from Lion, and I just put it in our show notes because that's the level of research we do for this show.
Yeah, I knew that. I saw that this week.
Was there has there been anything written or anything said about this?
No, I think I spoke to Chuck a bit earlier this year. I ran into him, and he said he said that this was the year he was going to retire and that sort of thing. So it was good on him. Like he's fucking 70.
He's like what, late 60s?
75, mate.
Is he really 75?
Yeah, he's 75 years old or
That's
something
amazing.
like that. He's pretty. He's up there, and bloody bloke deserves to go and retire, man.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna swim.
Celebrates 50 years in brewing last year. That's pretty boss.
And you got to think about the a person who's been a massive influence on the Australian brewing industry. Chuck Hahn.
He doesn't have a bloody Wikipedia entry. That's a shame, isn't it?
We should start one.
Well, no, Hahn Brewery does, but
But not Chuck himself.
not Chuck himself. Yeah, he should. I don't know anything about Wikipedia. Can we do that? Let's do it.
Anyone can do it. It's Wikipedia.
Do it. That can be
Do you
your
know a
homework.
funny story about Wikipedia?
I was hoping for a more funny story about Chuck Hahn, but yeah, sure.
So
Is there no Hahn Premium? Hahn Premium.
go and have a
thing,
look
isn't it?
at. So what I want you to do is I want you to go up onto Wikipedia, and I want you to go look. I want you to search for hop varieties on Wikipedia. I don't know if this is still there. Let's have a look.
All right. I did it. What am I looking
Okay.
for?
Hop varieties.
I'm here.
Okay, let's have a look here. So
Amarillo,
go
Apollo.
down to Australian hop varieties.
I don't think there is really.
Right? And you'll see there's Australian hop variety called Furcur Francais.
I can see that.
All right. Ever
What
heard
have
of a
you
hop
done?
variety? Ever heard of a hop variety called Furcur Francais?
I have not.
No, that's because I fucking put it there 10 years ago. You want to know how
wait,
funny it is?
Why did
Right,
you do
so-
this?
Well, about 10 years, I was having a beer with I was working at Otway at the time, right? It's so fucking dumb. I can't believe I'm revealing this now. It's hilarious. Anyway, so we're having a beer with Luke Scott we're working at Otway at the time, and the guy who bred the Amarillo hop, right? And so and we were at the tap house in Melbourne. We were getting buck-eyed, right?
Yeah.
And so at the time, Luke was growing some hops in his parents' backyard, right? And I think it was a French variety, something de Bourguignon or something like that. Tardif de Bourguignon, I think it is. And then because we were really pissed, we just called it the French fucker. And I said, you can't call it the French fucker without having a French accent, right?
Okay.
So we called it Furcur Francais.
Okay. Wait.
And so we're sitting at the pub.
What do you mean?
And we
This
got
is
to-
turning up on other websites.
I know, this is the thing. I know, I haven't got to the end of the fucking story
Okay, sorry.
yet, right?
I just Googled it. All right.
And so the thing is, right, is that we're sitting at the pub and I punched this thing on my phone into Wikipedia and I'm not even read it, right? But I'm pretty sure it would say it's a French variety that's grown in the
Victoria.
south of Melbourne,
Yeah.
southern part of Victoria and that sort of thing.
First harvested in
Um,
2010 is ideal for use in
yes.
Randall device as invented by Dogfish
by
Head Brewery.
Dogfish Head Brewery.
Yeah.
And the name is a double entendre when pronounced quickly. Furcur
Correct.
Francais, French fucker, right? And so I punched this thing into Wikipedia when I was absolutely trolleyed, right? Absolutely trolleyed. And then like I use Beersmith to do beer recipes,
Yeah.
right? And I'm looking at and I was an upgrade to Beersmith, right? And then there was this new upgrade that happened for Australian hop varieties, right? Because it was around the time when Galaxy came out, and then there was like Topaz and Vic Seeger, Victoria Seeger as they called back then. And this bloody Furcur Francais fucking appears in Beersmith, and I'm thinking, where the fuck fuck did this come from? Right? And then all of a sudden, it's everywhere.
I can embed this in our bloody episode because I've got embed code to embed the description.
Bloody, it's unbelievable.
It's on Beer Maverick.
And that picture, right? That picture that's in the Wikipedia page, that's us at the fucking pub. At the tap
Wait,
house.
what picture? Hang on, wait.
There's a picture that says Furco hops in a beer glass.
Brilliant.
It just
That's-
fucking exploded.
And no one's noticed this in 12 years.
No one's even questioned it.
That's
But because it's on Wikipedia, people think that it's fucking true. But it's not. It's bullshit.
Well, what's this Beer Maverick site? Because I've just got it up there and I've embedded it in our website.
Beer
our
Maverick.
show notes.
So literally, it's like, oh, Furco Francais, French.
Well, I want to see if this works. It's amazing.
It's like I was drunk 10 years ago and now it's literally everywhere. It's on hopslist.com.
Jesus Christ.
Everyone's
All right, well-
writing about it. Oh my God.
I've embedded it in our episode. Oh, that's a nice little embed thing too. Check this out. Oh, you probably can't see this, but I have to publish it first. It embeds all the stats.
Where?
All the alpha acids, beta acids, cohomulone, whatever that is.
Where? In the Google Doc?
No, not the Google Doc. Our website, like the show notes for the episode.
Oh, have you published those already?
I haven't. I've just got it as a draft, but I just put it in there just now. So if you go to bossandthebrewer.com, click on episode 47, you will see
Yes.
the stats for Furco Francais embedded from Beer Maverick on this
There's
episode
a
show
fucking
notes.
website that's bloody. That's translated it back to French. What the fucking shit?
Oh, I'm not going to trust Wikipedia with anything
Doublon.
ever again.
Furco Francais.
My God.
That's unbelievable. Lord Arizona, Australian generics from France, Bourguignon. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's just the French fucker's been translated back to French.
Oh God. That's brilliant.
Anyway, Wikipedia is a pretty powerful tool to a
It
drunk
is,
person.
and Chuck Hahn's a legend, doesn't have a Wikipedia entry, and you know how to fix that because you know how to use
I'll
it.
just-
So
Exactly. I can turn him into a. He's already a legend. There's not much more I can add by putting him
Yeah.
on Wikipedia. Oh my God. I was so drunk that day.
should we what time is it? And we're an hour in.
Yeah.
What do you want to get to some questions? I don't know if
Yeah.
there are that many. Let me have a look.
Oh, that's so dumb. Oh, it's just mine. I haven't looked at that in a while. I just every time you go back to it, everyone go back to it every couple of years. I realize how much more dumber it gets. I was talking to a hop grower the other day. I
One
didn't
day
hear
you're going
about
to go back and it's not going to be there, and you're going to miss this moment.
it. God.
All right, let's get into these questions.
Hit me.
Dave Croft says, "Wait, Chuck retired. Why is there no link?" Because I did fuck all research. That's why.
It's on Beer and Brewer magazine, mate.
All right. I'll link it in the show notes then. We got fuck all questions. We got basically none other than Paul says, "Where's the F1 segment gone?" Nothing
Yeah,
since
well, we
early
did that.
August. And he called me out for Mazepin coming back.
Yep.
That was just a fail. That was me just scrolling over Twitter too quickly.
Yeah.
And it was bullshit. So you're welcome. Grodziskie update. Did you get my message about the 15th? Is
Yes.
that going to work?
Of September.
It's next Friday. Wait, hang on. Is it next Friday? It's next Friday. It's
Sounds
next.
good.
Oh, no, sorry, the 16th. Did I say the 15th? 16th, next Friday.
Okay.
Not confirmed yet, but I'll be in Brisbane. And
Okay.
I figure that's the best place to do it because you're there and most of the 12 are probably there.
Okay. Well, why don't we get, if you're listening to this and you're one of the 12, pencil it into your calendar, Black Ops 3, Friday, the 16th of September in the year 2022 of our Dan.
Yeah.
And yeah, come and have a Grodz.
We'll do a little meetup.
A Zisky, a quick Zisky.
And we've got to actually put it in the group because it's ready to go. It's done. It's packed. It's tasting
Well,
good. I've got one.
Go
in the
and
fridge.
confirm it with your tap room, and then create an event in the group.
Yes. Okay. I will. It shouldn't be a problem, but I'll confirm it tomorrow. And
Yes.
Friday would be sweet, and then we can have a couple of Grods. I don't know about a live podcast. Might be too hard. But
No. We'll have beers. Beers.
Yeah, we'll just have beers. Sweet.
Come and have a
Awesome.
beer with us. If you've been hanging out in the Facebook group, incidentally, that's facebook.com/groups/Boss and the Brewer. Come and have a beer with us live. Both
Yes,
of us
and I've got
at the
2 or
same
3
time.
shirts left over. So we'll
Yeah,
give
sick.
Whoever
What
wants a
size?
shirt, just ask me. Large, I think. I sent someone
Okay.
to Fuller, Darren
Yeah.
Fuller. I sent one to him, and he was stoked.
Yeah.
And then I think I might have 2 or 3 left. So I'll bring him, and if you're large,
Great.
it's a free deal.
Yeah, that's it. Do it.
Yeah.
Keen.
What if someone comes with a Dixon flannel? Maybe they get, if they're wearing a Dixon flannel.
Mm,
How about everyone has to wear a flannel? If you're
okay.
wearing a Dixon flannel, you automatically get a free shirt. Is that too much?
I need to buy a flannel.
Dude, you don't own a single flannel?
I don't own a single flannel.
Fuck's sake. You better win this over under thing there.
I know. I'll go get one. Where's a good place to buy cheap flannels? Not Dixon. I don't have $80.
Cheap one anyway. Big W, Kmart, easy.
Yeah, rightio.
Yeah, $8, $10.
Which-
I don't know.
Which colour should I get? Which job? Packaging, accounts,
I think
Um,
I'd go the dry hop myself because it's universal.
straight up dry hop.
That's what I'd go. But,
Okay.
you got to be careful with the Big W and Kmart ones. Like you notice the level of. If you
How
try to
bad
get
they
too
are?
fancy with those fancy colors like the accounts one,
Yep.
it's going to look shitty. You got to go Dixon
Yeah,
for
right,
those ones.
Okay.
Your simple black and red.
It's
you should
just
be
straight up dry
reasonably safe.
hopping. You're fine.
I think so. You should be.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't fuck with Big W Kmart flannels.
Hey, you know, there's some really interesting events coming up this week. I was just thinking.
What's coming up?
Tomorrow night at Brewski Bar in Brisbane is the Moffat Beach and Revel East Coast West Coast collab. Well, they did 2 separate beers, sort of thing.
Oh, nice. One of the 3 Matty Wilsons.
One of the 3 Matty Wilsons in the Australian brewing industry.
Yeah, the guys from
And
Rebel
Matty,
were down
and
at
Matty
our brewery this
Cuthbert.
week too.
It's too many Mats. Too many Mats.
Yeah.
And then this weekend is QABC judging, the Queensland Amateur Brewing competition.
That's
Judging.
fun.
It's on
Where's
Friday
that at?
night and Saturday at Ballistic in Salisbury.
Nice.
If you are in the 12 and you fancy yourself as either a steward or a judge, they are looking for people. They need people to help judge. So if you want to, and stick this in the show notes, mate.
Right. Next to the French
comp-
fucker.
Yeah. Yep.
Details.
comp.qabc.org.au. Go and get yourself registered
Just
and be a steward
type
or
it
a
to me.
judge.
Don't say it to me. Are you actually going to send it to me?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Right there.
Okay, there you go. That's good.
Would you like me to say https://
Don't say anything. Definitely don't say colon. But no, just copy and paste. That's how it's done. All right. On that note,
go and register, and there'll be beers, and come and have a beer with me. Judge a beer. I've entered. I'm not going to say
have
what
you?
I've entered because I don't want to influence any judges, but I only enter one homebrew competition in the year. So here's a bet for the thing.
Okay.
Hendo wins a medal in the QABC. Any colour.
Well, I would both probably vote yes for that.
No, because I entered my Hellas last year and got a 42 out of 50. It's like almost world-class score. Still didn't medal. There was 3 Hellases better than the one that I brewed.
Oh, it's a different criteria.
It's a first, second, third competition.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I mean, you're not going to vote no, are you? In this competition right now, you're not going to vote.
I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no? I'm fine.
Yeah,
Because
I'm not happy with the beer.
Okay. Well, okay,
But maybe I'm just being typical brewer, just getting
Slight
dirty on my
advantage,
own
but-
beer.
All right. Over under prediction for Indies. Wow, this is just there's so much gambling happening right now.
Oh yeah, and all that money changing hands.
How hey, it's $80 for a Dixon Plano.
Yeah, right, yeah. This beer's bloody delicious.
How long before you find out the results of that?
Oh, that day.
That day.
it's
Okay,
literally- yeah. End of the day.
Good. Well, then we'll have
We'll know
two.
for next week.
Good. We'll have two results hopefully for the next episode.
There you go.
All right, mate. Enjoy the rest of that beer.
Thanks, man.
Love your work. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Cheers, mate.